And if you work on your weaknesses, all you have is really strong weaknesses. Stop doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I found that the sooner an individual can invest the time in themselves to discover who they are and how they're wired uniquely from birth, and then I'm gonna put it this way. This is my method and model for understanding the idea of happiness and joy in a person's life. When you discover how you're hardwired from birth, and then you have a belief system that I call them producers, which is your preachers, teachers, coaches, parents, siblings, all the people that are around you in your community. Those are the people that helped you produce your life up to whatever point you are. That's why I call it your life is not your fault until it is. Is that this gap between how you're hardwired from birth and your belief system is your happiness scale. And the closer you align these two, the happier you will be in life. And I'm going to say this is one of the easiest things to do and one of the hardest things you'll ever do, right? Because until you can get yourself over your ego, which is a really hard thing to do for, especially people like us that were, kind of kicked out of the traditional world. And then we go out and we're successful in the market because we've been fueled by this idea that you're basically proving everybody wrong, right? So you got this chip on your shoulder and you just want to slam dunk anybody, all those people in your mind, you still have that told you you're a freaking loser, you're, fill in the expletive and so on and so forth. But then you get to a certain point in life where, like, I'd say there's no more haters, like the ones that were in my head for all these years, or it's like, slam dunk that one, it's like, I've won, right? Like, you build a business and got a beautiful wife, beautiful kids, got seemingly everything is working, yet I'm 300 pounds and I'm a drunk. Like, what the hell? Like, how is that possible? How is it possible to get to that place? And I truly believe it's this separation model. It's the discovering what my unique abilities are, how I'm hardwired from birth, and what my belief system is. And my belief system, now granted, it's certain levels of or categories, if you will, which I teach in this model, is health, relationship, recreation, and wealth. And you can, score these and so forth. But the idea is that if you can put a number. Now, again, I learned all this stuff through, the decades of the manufacturing space. And it can't, most of these great quotes and things we all hear, and all these the gurus of today, they're all stealing it from the Bible or someone way back when, and they all call it their own IP. So all these self-help, so-called influencers that are out there, everybody just copied from somebody else. So slow your rolls there, gurus. This idea of what gets measured gets managed, right? And that came from Deming back in the whole continuous improvement. Then the Japanese took and called it Kaizen. But that's the whole plan, do, study, act model, right? And I had this whole continuous improvement model jammed down my throat because of the aerospace business, way 40 years ago, and just had bits and pieces of it over time. Again, like I said, I'm wired and designed to see like formulas. How do I can see the formula, or the way I think about things and solving problems is very formulaic, right? That's why I have such like tremendous, I'll say, envy for people like an Elon, right? And there's a whole slew of others, but people like that they think and operate from first principles. Whereas if you understand the root problem that you're trying to solve, for the vast, vast, vast majority of people out there, there's such a simple system to solve their problem. I mean, it's staggering how difficult people make life. It's staggering. And I was one of them, It's like, man, you got all these things going on. You got, I had all the stuff, right? And I took a 10-year sabbatical to raise my kids. And thank God I did it, had it planned from May of '05 to May of 15, away from day-to-day operations. And I'd be dead if I didn't do that. There's no question. Bought a cabin, had the cabin thing, and there's no question I'd be dead if I didn't do that. But I saw it again as these are all components or tools, if you will, as part of a formula to help you, I'd say achieve whatever you want in life, right? If your model is just to overcome something, there's a simple model for it. If your model is to achieve something significant, or your vision is to achieve something significant, there's already a proven model. And as an entrepreneur, I'm in my own way all the time because I'm the guy that wants to build the tool because I'm a tool builder. That's what I do. Like, I see the formula and I want to snap my magic into some kind of package, and then I got a tool, then I want to go sell the tool. And I'll just tell you, man, I've burnt, trust me, great experiences, life experiences and all that. But if I was really clear on what my vision was, I wouldn't have wasted, millions of dollars. I wouldn't have wasted all of this effort, time and effort to try and get something done that I could have just, paid a SaaS or a tool, somebody else a certain amount of dollars and just basically bought speed by investing in that tool. And so I became this, I can't even tell you how many courses I have. The $1,500, $2,000, dozens and dozens and dozens of them, right? Just a mass consumer of these things. And in the beginning, yes, I was trying to solve a problem, but eventually I was like, okay, I've got a pretty good solid model on how to fix all my shit. And so I built that model. But then I started looking at, well, what's the next step? Because I need to be able to package up my own thing, right? So I can help all these people that I want to help. Because like in the manufacturing space, all my, fellow brothers and sisters in the manufacturing space aren't exposed to this type of like personal development, like for the most part, doesn't exist. Because manufacturing people generally are the ones that were kind of kicked out of the system. They got a little chip on their shoulder. They got a little experience. They're making a little money. They're doing a little better than the next guy. And their bar is so low, relatively speaking, and they could do so much, but they don't have the champions in the space to help them go do these things. And so, yeah, I just decided, with the help of one of my mentors, it's like, because I was looking at selling my aerospace company, right? I could get pretty penny for it. We're a Boeing direct supplier and, other majors. And my mentor is like, dude, you invested your entire life into this space. And I'm like, I know, but I'm kind of bored, right? Because I built everything I can build and it just doesn't excite me that much. I buy new technology. Yeah, it's cool. Lights out, 5-axis robots, and it's freaking awesome. And every time I'm standing in front of it, I get chills because it's just like, oh my God, it's so amazing to watch and all that. But I'm like, yeah, that's commoditized now. It's not exciting. And he helped me realize that I could do manufacturing differently. Like, I don't have to be the guy building parts. I don't have to be the guy programming. I don't have to be the guy leading even, those smaller groups and teams anymore. I can hire all that out and I can go do the things that I want to do, which is expose the unbelievable opportunities in the manufacturing space and go teach and train at the level that I want to. And so that's what we've been wrapping up, kind of packaging and trying to figure this thing out. And again, I'm just taking all of this, my historic, knowledge and understanding and the way I'm wired and doing things the way I want to do it and having fun doing it and creating a new formula for other people to fall into, if you will. So I can help them, set that vision and ultimately either be a part of ours because we're building an empire, or help them go do it on their own. And then eventually we'll buy them later. And I found over the years, I had attracted and built this amazing group of super talents in my business. And the challenge is one of the things that we were experiencing, and everybody experiences this unless they use a tool like this, is if you're trying to solve some problem, it generally means most people haven't been able to. They came to us for a very specific reason. And we have an idea on how to solve it, but that doesn't mean, we're going to nail it the first time. And sometimes you nail it in the first, second, third, fourth try. It's fantastic. Obviously, the sooner the better. But what I found is what we weren't capturing is all of the attempts in between. Because to me, that is where the real knowledge comes from. All of the tries, when I was hands-on deep in it myself, and I'm still called in, for some of the bigger things that they can't solve, or at least just a little different perspective on it. But I rely on my team heavily to solve these problems, and they do it, 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time. And occasionally I'll have to be pulled in on certain things. And some things we know that, because I've defined really clear models around what we want to try and accomplish and tackle. And so this legacy maker concept came about because I have all these brilliant people and I want to capture all of this carnal knowledge, because over all these decades, we've had tremendous people that have come and gone over the years, and people just retire out, or they just kind of tired of the up and down flow of the aerospace world. And all that investment that I've put in, my team, collectively, right? It's amazing. A lot of times, you get really smart people from other places, or you develop them, which is, we do both significantly.
Which is exciting, and that'll lead us right into this incredible software tool you developed, which we're going to talk about when we come back after these messages.